Did you know that even individuals with a normal weight are increasingly at risk of developing diabetes? This alarming trend is especially prevalent among the Indian population and others, challenging the traditional belief that diabetes primarily affects those who are overweight. In this informative video, we discuss the reasons behind the rising diabetes in slim people. Our focus isn't just on stating the facts, but also on understanding the underlying causes. We aim to shed light on this critical health issue, helping people recognize that a slim physique doesn't necessarily equate to being diabetes-free. The journey towards greater health awareness is crucial, as it opens the door to preventative measures and healthier lifestyle choices. So, stay with us as we explore this unexpected trend, understand its implications, and discuss strategies to mitigate the risk. If you're ready to gain insights into this health paradox and start a journey of awareness and proactive health management, then this video is for you. 1. Global shift in diabetes prevalence. The landscape of diabetes, a chronic condition once predominantly associated with affluent Western nations, is undergoing a dramatic transformation. This disease, long seen as a byproduct of the Western lifestyle, is now making its most significant impact in developing countries. Astoundingly, 80% of diabetes cases are now found in these regions, marking a pivotal shift in the global burden of this ailment. Why is this shift occurring? The primary driver is the rapid pace of economic development in these countries, which brings with it a wave of lifestyle changes. As incomes rise, diets evolve. Traditional foods, often high in nutrients and low in processed ingredients, are being replaced by Western-style diets high in sugars, fats, and calories. A study published in the Lancet Diabetes and Endocrinology journal highlights this transition, noting the increased consumption of energy-dense foods as a key contributor to the rising rates of obesity and diabetes in developing countries. The change in dietary habits is not the only factor. Lifestyle changes play a significant role too. Urbanization leads to more sedentary jobs and less physical activity. A report by the World Health Organization, WHO, underscores the impact of these lifestyle changes, pointing out that decreased physical activity and increased sedentary behavior are major contributors to the global diabetes epidemic, especially in developing countries. The implications of this trend are profound. Developing countries already grappling with infectious diseases and limited healthcare resources now face the added burden of managing chronic conditions like diabetes. This dual burden strains healthcare systems and highlights the need for tailored strategies. Traditional health policies focused on infectious diseases are no longer sufficient. A comprehensive approach that also addresses chronic diseases is essential. This shift in disease prevalence necessitates a rethinking of global health resource allocation. Developed countries have long been the focus of diabetes research and funding, but the rising tide of diabetes in developing countries calls for a redistribution of resources. It's not just about providing financial aid. It's about building local capacity for chronic disease management, including education, prevention, and treatment programs. Here's a striking statistic. According to the International Diabetes Federation, 3/4 of people with diabetes in low and middle-income countries do not have access to the necessary diabetes care and treatment. This gap in care is not just a health issue, it's a matter of health equity. Ensuring equitable access to diabetes care and treatment across the globe is crucial. The need for region-specific strategies cannot be overstated. What works in the West may not be applicable in the developing world. Cultural, economic, and healthcare infrastructure differences must be considered when designing diabetes prevention and management programs. For instance, a focus on community-based interventions and leveraging traditional diet patterns can be more effective in these regions. The global shift in diabetes prevalence from developed to developing countries is a clarion call for the world. It challenges us to rethink our approach to diabetes management and prevention, to allocate resources more equitably, and to tailor strategies to the unique needs of different regions. 2. Impact of lifestyle and urbanization in India. In India, a country known for its rich cultural tapestry and diverse traditions, a silent transformation is underway. This change, deeply rooted in the rapid urbanization and economic growth of recent decades, is significantly impacting the health of its people, particularly in the surge of diabetes cases. India's journey from rural agrarian society to urbanized economic powerhouse has been meteoric. With this transition, lifestyles have undergone a dramatic shift. The Indian diet, once centered around whole grains, vegetables, and legumes, is increasingly being replaced by processed foods high in sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. A study published in the journal Globalization and Health highlights this dietary shift, linking the increasing consumption of processed and fast foods in urban India to the rising prevalence of obesity and diabetes. Urbanization has not only changed what Indians eat, but also how they live. Physical activity, an integral part of rural life, has diminished in the urban setting. The Indian Council of Medical Research's India Diabetes Study found that urban Indians are less physically active than their rural counterparts, with sedentary behavior contributing to the country's growing diabetes epidemic. The impact of these lifestyle changes is stark. According to the International Diabetes Federation, India is home to the second largest number of adults with diabetes globally, with cases expected to rise to 134.3 million by 2045. This surge is not just a health crisis, it's a reflection of the broader impact of globalization. Western dietary habits and lifestyles, once foreign, are now increasingly common in Indian metros, exemplifying a global trend where traditional lifestyles give way to more sedentary and unhealthy patterns. The implications of this shift extend beyond individual health. The economic burden of diabetes in India is substantial. A study in The Lancet estimated that the economic impact of diabetes in India amounted to an astonishing 31 billion in 2019, a figure that is projected to increase as the prevalence of the disease grows. This burden is not just financial, it affects workforce productivity and places immense strain on the healthcare system. The Indian experience is a microcosm of a global phenomenon. As developing countries embrace economic growth and urbanization, they also inherit the health challenges of the developed world. This pattern is evident across Asia, Africa, and Latin America, where similar trends in urbanization and lifestyle changes are leading to increased rates of diabetes and other non-communicable diseases. In response, India has initiated several public health initiatives aimed at curbing the rise of diabetes. These include national programs focusing on lifestyle modifications, such as the National Program for Prevention and Control of Cancer, Diabetes, Cardiovascular Diseases, and Stroke. However, addressing this epidemic requires a multifaceted approach that goes beyond government intervention. It calls for a cultural shift back to healthier eating habits and more active lifestyles, as well as increased public awareness and improved access to healthcare services. The story of diabetes in India is a cautionary tale of how rapid urbanization and lifestyle changes can have profound health consequences. It's a reminder that while economic development brings many benefits, it also comes with challenges that require thoughtful, culturally sensitive solutions. 3. BMI, Fat Distribution, and Health Risks. In the world of health and nutrition, body mass index (BMI) has long been the go-to metric for assessing an individual's risk for various health conditions, including diabetes. BMI, calculated as weight in kilograms divided by the square of height in meters, is a universal measure used to categorize individuals as underweight, normal weight, overweight, or obese. While BMI offers a quick, easy way to gauge health risks associated with body weight, it overlooks crucial factors like muscle mass, bone density, and fat distribution. This oversight is particularly significant in assessing the health risks in the Indian population. Indians, even those with a BMI in the normal range, are more susceptible to central obesity, the accumulation of fat around the abdominal area. A study published in the International Journal of Obesity found that Indians tend to have higher levels of body fat and lower levels of lean muscle mass compared to Western populations, even at the same BMI level. This predisposition to abdominal fat, often referred to as the thin fat Indian phenomenon, significantly increases the risk of metabolic disorders like diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. The reason behind this unique fat distribution in Indians is multifaceted, involving genetics, diet, and lifestyle factors. Genetic predisposition plays a significant role, with studies suggesting that Indians have a higher genetic risk of insulin resistance and diabetes. Furthermore, traditional Indian diets, rich in carbohydrates and trans fats, coupled with decreasing physical activity levels, exacerbate the risk of abdominal obesity. This thin fat phenomenon challenges the efficacy of BMI as a standalone health indicator. For instance, an Indian individual with a BMI within the normal range might still have a high percentage of abdominal fat, placing them at a greater risk for diabetes than the BMI would suggest. This discrepancy calls for more nuanced measures of health assessment that consider ethnic variations in body composition and fat distribution. One such measure gaining traction is waist circumference, a direct indicator of abdominal fat. A study in the journal Diabetes Care highlighted the importance of waist circumference in predicting diabetes risk, suggesting that it could be a more reliable indicator than BMI, especially in populations like Indians. The implications of relying solely on BMI are significant for global health policy. It underscores the need for ethnic-specific guidelines and interventions to accurately assess and manage health risks. For example, in India, healthcare professionals are increasingly using waist circumference alongside BMI to provide a more comprehensive health assessment. Moreover, these findings emphasize the importance of tailored health advice. For the Indian population, strategies focusing on reducing abdominal obesity through diet modifications and increased physical activity are crucial. This approach not only helps in managing weight, but also in reducing the risk of associated diseases. While BMI is a useful tool for assessing general health risks, it falls short in capturing the complete picture, particularly for populations like Indians who are genetically predisposed to abdominal obesity. The thin fat Indian phenomenon is a stark reminder of the need for more individualized health measures that consider ethnic variations. As we become more aware of these nuances, it paves the way for more effective, culturally sensitive health interventions and policies, ultimately leading to better health outcomes. 4. The Barker hypothesis and early life factors. The Barker hypothesis, a groundbreaking concept in the realm of epidemiology and public health, has revolutionized our understanding of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. Proposed by British epidemiologist David Barker in the late 20th century, the Barker hypothesis posits that the environment experienced by a fetus in the womb, especially nutrition, has profound long-term effects on health in later life. According to Barker, poor nutrition during fetal development can permanently change the body's structure, physiology, and metabolism, leading to a higher risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. Why is this particularly relevant to India? India, with its high rates of malnutrition and a burgeoning epidemic of chronic diseases, presents a critical case study for this hypothesis. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition noted that maternal malnutrition, common in many parts of India, is strongly linked to low birth weight, a key indicator of fetal health. Low birth weight, in turn, has been consistently associated with increased risks of diabetes and heart disease later in life. The underlying mechanism, as explained by Barker, involves fetal programming. When a fetus is undernourished, it adapts by changing its metabolism and structure to survive in a nutrient-scarce environment. However, these changes, while beneficial in the short term, can lead to metabolic and cardiovascular problems in an adult environment where food is more plentiful. Supporting Barker's hypothesis, the Pune maternal nutrition study, conducted in India, found a strong correlation between low birth weight and the later development of insulin resistance, a precursor to diabetes. This study underscores the long-term impact of early life nutrition on the risk of developing chronic diseases. The implications of the Barker hypothesis are profound for public health policy, especially in countries like India, where both undernutrition and chronic diseases are prevalent. It suggests that interventions aimed at improving maternal nutrition and fetal health could be a crucial strategy in combating the rising tide of diabetes and heart disease. Additionally, the Barker hypothesis sheds light on the need for a life course approach to health. It's not just about addressing risk factors in adulthood. It's about understanding and intervening at the earliest stages of life, even before birth, to prevent chronic diseases. One critical aspect of this hypothesis is its emphasis on the intergenerational cycle of health. Malnourished women are more likely to give birth to low birth weight babies, who in turn are at a higher risk of chronic diseases and may pass on these health disadvantages to the next generation. Breaking this cycle is essential for improving public health outcomes. Moreover, the Barker hypothesis highlights the complexity of chronic diseases. Factors like genetics, lifestyle, and environment interact in intricate ways to determine health outcomes. Understanding these interactions is key to developing effective prevention and treatment strategies. The Barker hypothesis offers a compelling perspective on the developmental origins of health and disease. Its implications, particularly in the Indian context, are significant, underscoring the importance of early life factors in determining future health risks. For our audience interested in health and nutrition, this discussion not only provides insight into the causes of chronic diseases, but also emphasizes the critical role of maternal and fetal health in shaping the health trajectory of individuals and populations. As we continue to grapple with the challenges of diabetes and heart disease, the lessons from the Barker hypothesis remain a guiding light in our quest for healthier generations. 5. Epigenetics, prevention, and maternal nutrition. Epigenetics, a field at the intersection of genetics and environment, examines how external factors can turn genes on or off, altering gene expression without changing the DNA sequence itself. This concept is pivotal in understanding the development of diabetes, a disease where both genetics and environment play critical roles. One of the most striking examples of epigenetic influence comes from studies on agouti mice. In these mice, a specific gene, when activated, leads to yellow fur, obesity, and a higher risk of diabetes and cancer. However, when pregnant agouti mice are fed a diet rich in methyl donors, found in foods like beets, eggs, and onions, the gene is silenced in their offspring, resulting in brown fur and a significantly reduced risk of obesity and diabetes. This research, published in the journal Molecular and Cellular Biology, demonstrates how maternal nutrition can have a lasting impact on the health of offspring through epigenetic changes. In the Indian context, where diabetes is a growing concern, the implications of epigenetics are particularly relevant. India faces a unique set of challenges, including widespread malnutrition, rapid lifestyle changes, and a genetic predisposition to diabetes. These factors create a complex environment where epigenetic mechanisms can significantly influence diabetes risk. Improving maternal nutrition is a crucial primordial prevention strategy. The period of fetal development is a critical window when environmental factors like nutrition can have lasting epigenetic effects. Studies have shown that deficiencies in maternal nutrition can lead to epigenetic changes in the fetus, increasing the risk of diabetes and other chronic diseases later in life. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition highlights how maternal micronutrient deficiency can alter DNA methylation patterns, impacting gene expression and disease susceptibility in offspring. For India, focusing on maternal nutrition presents a strategic approach to curbing the diabetes epidemic. It's not just about treating the disease, it's about preventing it from taking root in the first place. By ensuring adequate nutrition during pregnancy, we can reduce the epigenetic risk factors for diabetes, breaking the cycle of the disease for future generations. Moreover, this epigenetic perspective underscores the importance of a holistic approach to diabetes prevention. It's not merely a question of genetics or lifestyle choices. It's a complex interplay of multiple factors, including the environment experienced during the earliest stages of life. The role of epigenetics in diabetes offers a compelling insight into how environmental factors, particularly during early development, can influence the risk of this chronic condition. In the Indian context, where the battle against diabetes is particularly pressing, focusing on maternal nutrition as a primordial prevention strategy could have a profound impact. Embracing this knowledge about diabetes risks in slim individuals could significantly alter your approach to health. It's about transitioning from a state of unawareness to being fully informed about your health risks, regardless of body weight. Remember, diabetes doesn't discriminate based on size, and what we've covered today are essential insights for everyone, not just those who are traditionally viewed as at risk. Now we turn the conversation over to you, our insightful viewers. Did any of the information we shared strike a chord? Perhaps you've noticed some of these risk factors in yourself or others, or maybe there's new information you'll now consider. We're eager to hear your thoughts in the comments. Your experiences and insights are more than just personal stories. They are valuable lessons and sources of inspiration for others who might be navigating similar health challenges. By sharing, you contribute to a community that's becoming more aware and supportive in matters of health and well-being. We're grateful to have you as part of this critical dialogue. Stay tuned for more content that explores health, wellness, and proactive living. Remember, recognizing these risk factors is an integral part of your health journey. Each piece of knowledge you acquire is a step towards a healthier, more informed life. Here's to advancing on your health journey, equipped with awareness and a proactive spirit.